Hello guys, we're back decorating another cake today. This one is one of my tall cakes, so I've got 4 layers of 2-inch sponge and then about ½ an inch of buttercream in between each layer, which means it turns out to be about 10 inches tall once filled. So I've got 2 layers of vanilla sponge with vanilla buttercream and then 2 layers of red velvet sponge with a cream cheese filling. Yum! So this cake was ordered by one of my very good friends who I went to uni with. She was traveling all the way from Crewe to pick this cake up. So I did add a thick dowel in the center for extra stability, and I did the crumb coat and final coat in ganache. Now I know many people find ganache daunting, and honestly, I don't blame you. The amount of tears I've cried because of this thing. But once you get the hang of it, it is an amazing tool to have in your arsenal, especially for people who travel to collect their cakes. Even though I've got the technique down, I still do get cracks every now and again. So here I'm just doing a little bit of surgery to hide that crack so it doesn't show in the final coat. Nothing worse than completing your cake just to find a big fat crack in the morning. No, thank you. After trimming the lip with a sharp knife, I was left with this gorgeous base, and now it's time for the final coat. And can we just get into the color, the sheen, the gloss, the texture on this ganache? Like, guys, I am obsessed. And I do have my ganache guide linked in my bio. It covers the recipe, the ratios, how I make the ganache, that little extra step I added to make it this smooth, troubleshooting, and how to fix cracks if they do occur. So check it out if you haven't already. But here I'm just smoothing it out. I like to use a metal scraper with ganache. I just feel like you get it smoother, innit? I just love the Mancunian accent. I really do. I do. But anyway, here I'm doing my white chocolate ganache strip. I dyed it using Sugar Flare Navy. And yes, this is a man cake, but I have no gripes towards it because look how smooth it is. Look how perfect that base is for all of the decor. Now, I will say, when you're doing drip cakes, you want to make sure... my voice! Sorry. You want to make sure you put your cake in the fridge for at least 15 minutes before you start piping. Otherwise, your piping can literally slide off the cake or the drip will start dripping in places you didn't intend it to drip. So just make sure your ganache is set before you start piping. But here, I'm just adding on all of my chocolate decor. I used a 4B tip for the shell border and also these little kisses. Is that what they're called? I hope it is because it's super cute. And the piping is also in ganache. I was sent this picture as inspiration, which was originally made by Layered Bear. I hope I did it justice, girl, but I tried to follow it as closely as I could. By the way, when I was decorating this cake, we were in the middle of a heat wave and the chocolate kept melting, hence why my fingers were blue. But I added on these cake toppers that I made myself. On this big topper, I actually hot glued a skewer on the back just so it was easy for me to place into the cake. I finished it off with some glitter, and here is a final spin. Honestly, I think it's pretty spot on to the inspiration picture, and it just looks appetizing, you know, like you want to eat that. My customer was extremely happy with her cake. In fact, let me not reduce her to just a customer. My Precious, her name is Precious. She's an incredible hairstylist, by the way. So if you're in the Stoke-on-Trent area, go and check her out. This is some of the hair that she's done. Extremely, extremely talented. Love her down. But yeah, she said the cake arrived to Crewe in perfect condition and everyone absolutely loved it. As always, let me know what you guys think and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, cuties.